But you know what? That is the wave of what's getting ready to happen. Yeah.
How old are they?
In their late 20s.
So that would be millennial, huh?
Yeah, y'all crazy.
No, don't say y'all. Don't group us all together.
Yeah.
It's a select few.
It's millennials and the way that they think, it's very different.
I think it's the end of the millennials.
Oh, okay. There's a difference?
Yes, there's a huge difference.
Okay. So there are brackets in the millennial group?
Exactly. Just like it's brackets with your age group.
You didn't have to say it like that. I'm proud of my age.
Your age group.
You're my age group. And it was a little pause. We're still in the same age group right now. So
I don't want to name anything and then it'd be wrong.
So there are brackets. Can you explain the brackets?
Okay, so you got your normal millennials.
Which
are the ones raised
I'm
by...
writing this down.
Okay, so honestly, how old are you, Nick?
72.
See, I was about to say, but I like, so I'm not going to say that.
So the millennials that's in their right mind are normally raised by...
I'm 47. I'm not, it's cool.
Okay, so your children would be in the good bracket.
They're the beginning millennials.
Exactly. Yeah. So like parents that are...
They still have some of that old school stuff.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Like you see a group of adults in a room, you go upstairs.
Yeah.
Kids.
Yeah. You're not chilling downstairs.
Exactly.
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So those millennials are good. They're probably their parenting skills are a lot like their parents.
Okay.
So the ones behind them that's a little younger, they're starting to tailor off a little bit.
Okay.
They're the ones like, oh, I'm not doing it like my parents, and they're starting to see that maybe what their parents were saying were true. But now it's too late because the kids are already conditioned. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, they just
off the hook.
Yeah, that's not us.
They say every generation gets worse. I believe it, and I don't know how we're going to correct that because they're going totally wrong in the opposite direction.
Itself, though, so maybe
it'll turn. You know, I think and whatever this new it's a new generation. Is it called Z or Zen? It's not Zen. It's Z generation. It would be Zion's age group, like the 16 to 19-year-olds right now.
Oh my God, that's my kids.
I think those kids are going to turn around.
Right? So it didn't only teach us how to spell, but it also taught us how to be confused. Because when you do something that a woman can do for herself, she might not be so. She might be quick to let you know, I don't need you to do this. So now I'm not going to think to do certain things that you would expect me to do because I'm afraid that you might come back at me saying, I don't need you. Because it only takes one disagreement for them to come at you with, I could do this for myself.
Clearly you can, though.
What's that?
You can do it by yourself.
There are things that can be done by yourself, but it gets confusing. It gets confusing when a woman says, why ain't the men stepping up? Why won't they be men? Why don't you open the door for me? I mean, on the way over here, it was somebody I was in my Lyft ride, and she was saying, how come the man don't open the door no more? Well, the man would open the door, but maybe you said something that made him feel like, I'm not going to step on her toes. I'm going to let her do for herself.
Or maybe you're not giving him a chance to do it.
That too.
Yeah.
You know?
Because I operate like that now. I will wait to the side until my husband comes to open the door. I'm not touching the door.
Right.
You know, and most women just rush through the door. What are you hooing for? You're like, huh? What are you hooing for?
Now, we had that discussion a lot. You're not supposed to touch a door when you're with me.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just me, though.
Yeah, because even when I'm with my brothers, they will do certain things. And I guess it's just the way we've been brought up.
Okay, but would you say it's like a millennial change? Because some of these...
Here you go again with that millennial
I'm just saying.
Nobody talking about millennials.
I'm just saying.
Always putting everything on us.
You know, they may not be shown or raised like we were raised, and they don't know what to do. Because I've seen a young man open the door for an older lady, but that's because he was raised by his grandmother, and his grandmother was like, "This is the things that you're supposed to do." Then I seen a guy that was in his teens. They just closed the door in the woman's face. So, I mean, it's all about how you were taught. That's what I think.
Okay, so let's take millennials out of it. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the old heads, the
old heads,
the OGs.
But what if you look at it from the perspective that we have a generation of men who are the products of being raised in a single parent household, where the single parent was the mother. But we're also dealing with a lot of women today who are saying these men ain't this or they're not that, but they was raised by the same women. So who are you blaming? Are you blaming the man or the one that raised them? Now, in addition to it, you got a lot of men like myself. My father wasn't in the house, but I had to become the father that I didn't have. So in a lot of ways, I had to find mentors that would help me see things from a better perspective than what I had before. But
men are intimidated by alpha females.
I think some of them are.
Yeah. Hey, Steph.
What is an alpha female?
The independent woman that you guys were talking about earlier.
Who has managed their own life without a male, who's done it all without a male,
who wants a male but doesn't need a male.
So a nun is an alpha female?
Definitely not.
According to what y'all saying.
A nun?
How you get that?
No. We're talking about somebody who's actually managed their house.
No.
They fixed drywall, plumbing, toilets. They've done it all. And not even just about fixing things, but her mentality about being able to take care of herself. And you're looking at me like you're getting ready to say something.
No, I'm listening now.
I think that I think most men are intimidated by those types of women. But because I consider myself an alpha female. But I have learned over the years, just because I know how to do something and do it without a man, not to make him feel like he's less of, but to give him that opportunity, or to let him step into that role and I back off.
But some people find that intimidating.
It's the way you do it, though, I think.
I'm not letting him step into no role if he's not going to do it properly. If you said you could change my brakes on my car, you better do it properly. Yeah. I'm not taking no chances on the highway because you want to feel more like a man.
Yeah, okay? I understand that. I understand.
For real, Cam.
So
I can't.
Stephanie Garrett says, yes, I don't need a male, but if one just happens to come my way, please let him be equipped with a tool belt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to ask a question on that one. How does that, in addition to what you said, Miss Nick, where does submission
Don't call me Miss Nick.
All right, Nick. How does submission fit in with that? Why does that word have such a ting on it? Why does it?
Here we go.
We're gonna avoid
Let me get this one. Let me get this one.
Go ahead, Cam.
Okay, I feel like this is it right here, the bottom line. A woman won't be submissive to a man that she doesn't feel like she can follow.
Absolutely.
100%. If you don't come to the table saying, look, I'm the man, I'm going to lead you in the right direction.
Right.
I'm not going to be submissive to that.
Right.
If I see you going left and I see clearly the left is all types of control, I'm not submitting to nothing.
Well, what do you think about marijuana usage?
You mean like in the church house? Like,
Mar, you go first.
Like I don't expect you to come into the church smoking.
I mean, I have hugged many of people like,
oh yeah,
you just was chiefing before you came here.
Yeah, musicians, praise team, singers, everything, everybody. Is there a problem with that?
I think so.
A problem with what?
Smoking marijuana.
Sometimes
if you're head of ministry, yeah.
What does ministry have to do with a legalized substance?
First of all,
I'm just asking a question.
You should not be up there with the loud in your system, praising the Lord.
You don't think that would
enhance,
elevate your experience?
Definitely not. Because for me personally, with me seeing little people, that would freak me out. Like it would be just bad.
So what do y'all feel like Rastafarians? Because that's essentially why they use it, because
they say it elevates them to
it
a higher spiritual level.
The third eye, and like you said, puts you quote unquote closer to the Most High.
So what's their religious beliefs? What's their religious beliefs?
Rastafarians?
Yeah.
They still believe in God and the Bible, but they use marijuana.
I thought they used those little people.
You said what?
I thought they used those little people.
You thinking voodoo?
Voodoo?
There you
go. No.
I'm sorry.
Oh, God,
people.
that is a stereotype, and we apologize. I'm so sorry, y'all. I'm slow.
Oh, my God.
She done put y'all in there with.
OMG.
That's another conversation.
Like, I never...
Yeah.
That belongs in the movie Us.
Well, I don't see anything wrong with it. You know, my mom has, and I'm not putting her business out there. She's got some autoimmune things going on, and I would love to see her pain eased.
So you mean from like the oil, but not necessarily smoke?
Yeah, I wouldn't like
Can
her
you
to
imagine
smoke.
Mama Joe smoking?
Well,
had you caught her in her younger days?
Listen, Linda Gamble says I'll take it anytime without a high. She sleeps. She doesn't smoke, but she does use the oil.
Oh, okay, Auntie.
Okay.
We need to come visit.
But see, listen, you know what?
I didn't know that.
How is it? So since you said something about the church people, right?
Yeah.
Two things I would say. One, it's kind of like a doctor who smokes. It's kind of like an oxymoron. I mean, why are you doing something that you know can kill you? However, marijuana won't necessarily kill you, but it will take away from the impact of whatever your message is, because there is the stereotype about its poor usages or the behavior of those who have not responsibly used it. Then at the same time, God did make everything on this planet and then said it was all good. So there's medicinal value that I think a doctor or those who are studying it and doing the research on it, which incidentally, all the CBD oil that they've legalized here, I think it was issue 57, a part of that was for the research of the oil and what effects it can have. So there are things that are good about marijuana, the plant itself and its value, but how it's administered, how it's used, that's where it needs to have somebody that's overseeing it that has the wisdom and the knowledge to know how to apply it. Because like you said, you see blue people when you smoke. You see yourself running down the street, maybe running into the blue people. You just enjoy the effects at some level that allows you to be able to, I guess, exercise your freedom to do whatever you want to do.
Creative.
Right. And there's a lot of people who refer to it as to access that creative portion of their lives. And some people will, I think a lot of musicians will admit that when you get to a certain high and you realize that that creativity is there, the thing you want to do next is repeat it. But to repeat it, you've got to take more.
Yeah.
You got to continue to increase the dosage. And that's where we don't know how much you have to get to or have to take before you get too far.
Yeah, so was it Tangi made a good point. Let's talk about the difference between the strands, the two major strands of marijuana, which is sativa and indica. A lot of people don't know the difference. They just smoke it just to be smoking it. But sativa is more like your head high, your alertness, uplifting, euphoric, the creative juices. Right. That's what you want to take if you're trying to, be up there. Indica is the one that's more relaxation, appetite stimulant, sleep aid, pain relief. So that's probably what Miss Linda is taking.
The oil.
Yeah, the oil. Yeah. So there's the difference. Excuse me.
Clear your throat, Bo.
One again, the sativa. Sativa. I can't talk right now. It's for like daytime use. Okay. Your upper. And then your indica is like your lower bedtime use, relaxation.
So I need the upper then.
Yeah.
So if I have the upper, maybe I won't see the blue.
You're doing all right without it. You might want to stay just small.
So you smokers out there, make sure y'all not messing too much with the hybrids, those cross-pollination ones, the ones that you really don't know what they are, how they're being created. That's where y'all start messing up.
Different color. Like I've seen some that looks different colors. Like it's like pink, blue.
Yeah, those are those crazy strands.
But some of the stuff just makes you wonder anyway, because one week I would be smoking blue cookies. The next week he'd be talking about, I got that diesel. It's been turned into gas. What am I smoking? And each one would have a different effect.
Yep.
So let's get back to church people. So what you're saying is everything is, if I'm hearing you correct,